What's up, YouTube? I want to do a quick review of my Wesson CBOB Commander in 45 that I just picked up the other day. Finally had a chance to take it to the range, put quite a few rounds through it, and give you a little range review. This is a cleared. This is a Wesson CBOB Commander. This is a 2011 model, which is still available for California. They still make a limited number, even though they show discontinued in 2010. They actually still produce them in small numbers for California because of the approved handgun roster. This gun here is amazing. If there wasn't a lot of videos when I was looking at these, and they're hard to find in person, so you really have to see them in person to really get the quality of what these guns are. I would say they're very on par with the Ed Brown, like Ed Brown Cobra Carry. It's, I would say, 99.9% the same. I mean, I've shot an Ed Brown. I've handled a lot of them. Gun stores drooled over them. I just couldn't justify the $2,800 that they were wanting, you know, for an everyday carry gun, because I wasn't going to spend $2,800 on a gun to sit in the safe. I'm a Glock guy. You know, carry Glocks. They're just a tool. You know, they're great for what they do. They're acceptably accurate. They're very reliable. You know, they're $500, you know, all day long. They're just I don't want to say a cheap gun, because they're not. They're an inexpensive gun. You get a lot of value with the Glock. I carried Glocks for about 10 years now. Like I said, I really a Glock guy. I really like them. So for me to convert, it's a big deal. I mean, I really have to have a quality pistol for me to actually put a Glock in the safe and, you know, pick up something else and strap it on every day. And that's what I've done now with this CBOB. I've had enough rounds to it now where I deemed it, you know, pretty much 100% reliable. I mean, everything's going to have a failure here and there due to bad magazines or ammunition, but as far as the gun goes, the build quality and everything is excellent on this. The frame fit is, like I said, right on par with the Ed Brown, a less bare. I mean, you can't, this video won't pick it up, but like I said, gun has been cleared. But if you can, it'll pick that up as far as the tolerance goes on that. I don't know if it'll see where it's coming together, or shaking it. There is no slide rattle. I had a Colt Commander before, and it would actually clank back and forth when you shook it. A Kimber I had also did that, and like I say, they worked. Nothing, you know, to really bang them up about that, because that Colt was really sloppy, but it went bang every time you pull the trigger. But this thing is just super tight. As far as accuracy goes, this is a 7-round group that I shot at about 10 yards, so it's only 30 feet, and it's not very far. But you know, I'm not a super pistol shot as it is, but for me, that's the best group I've ever shot. You know, I can't shoot that with my Glocks, obviously. So I was very, very impressed with that. And as far as the reliability of this gun, the first range trip I had it out, I picked it up from the guy, had 200 rounds to it. I bought it used from kind of an acquaintance of mine, and I remember when he bought it new. So he had 200 rounds to it. I took it in. He had cleaned it and oiled it with a light oil, and I fired, I think, about 5 magazines through it of some T-Series, Ranger T-Series, 230 grain Winchester hollow points, function flawless. Few Magtechs, function flawless, and then I got in some Winchester White Box, the 100-round bulk pack from Walmart, and I was getting a specific malfunction about every magazine. And what it would do is it would leave an empty inside the chamber, and it would maybe be extracted about 1/4 of an inch, and then it was ramming the next loaded round into it. So I was thinking, man, is it an extraction problem? What is it? But it wouldn't do it with any other ammo. So I'm thinking, well, maybe it's an underpowered issue or something like that. So anyways, I took it home, I cleaned it, and I greased the slide. I had a buddy who had a Kimber, had the same problem with an Eclipse, and he said, man, put some slide grease on it until it breaks in or whatever, or just run grease. So I put some Riggs slide grease on the frame and slide contact points, bought an 18-pound wolf spring, and took it back to the range. And I took a combination of pretty much every ammo I had available, from all the way from Tula, the lowest end junk, steel case stuff from Walmart, to Ranger T-Series, which was going to be my carry ammo. So I went down there, I fired 400 rounds to it, that day without cleaning it, fired straight, one range session. It fired everything 100% with 18-pound spring, and then I switched back to 20-pound spring, and it didn't make a difference. So it was either a break-in issue or it was a grease issue. It needed grease or it needed to break in. Whatever it was, it functions 100% now with Winchester white box. I shot 100 rounds of that through it, 50 rounds of Tula, 50 rounds of Privy Partisan, which is another cheap, dirty ammo. That Winchester white box was filthy. It fired that fine. Like I said, the gun was just nasty by the time the range trip was over. There was actually just ooze, black ooze, sliding out from between the frame and the slide, and the front sight dot was disappeared. It was black because it was just, the carbon was back to this far, the whole front of the gun was just nasty. But it worked 100%, and this thing will feed anything. It's just almost Glock-like as far as its feeding, and I've never seen, my Colt Commander wouldn't feed empties. This gun here, like I said, you've seen the accuracy as far as what it's capable of, how tight the gun is. This is a Wilson Combat Mag with empty 45 casings. This thing will actually give it the speed. Oops, that was my part because I didn't actually eject it back fast enough. But it'll actually chamber empty casings, and Glocks will do it. I'm not actually actuating the slide all the way back. Glocks will do it, but I've never had a 1911 out of my Kimbers or my Colt that would do that. Wouldn't feed empties. My Kimber actually wouldn't feed Corbon. The mouth would stick right on the round. So this thing, like I said, is almost Glockish in what it'll feed. It's super tight. It's almost like a Les Baer fit and finish, or Ed Brownish, fit and finish, for just a fraction of the cost. So if you're looking for a great carry gun, 1911 style, obviously there's a whole bunch of other choices out there, but if you're looking 1911 wise, man, I can't recommend this enough. Now you'd probably have to buy the VBOB or the Valor Bob or whatever that they're selling now if you live out of California, because they're really not shipping too many of these out of state. But that's actually the upgraded model to this. So I think that would even be an even better gun. So really look into these. There's not a lot on the web as far as videos go or on YouTube. I found a lot of written views on these guns, but they're not in stores a lot to actually get to handle them and feel them. And if you don't get to handle them and feel them and feel the tightness of the slide, you don't get the full effect of the gun. I mean, this thing is just extremely well made. The tolerances on everything, just even down to the safety, it's the exact tension that you want it. It's got a nice positive on and a nice positive off, so it won't come off in your holster. My Kimber would come on really good, and it was really squishy coming off. And probably about, I can tell you how many times I'd pull my Kimber out at the end of the day out of my holster, and the safety would be off, and I never noticed it because it would come off so easy. And to me, the gun was gone not too long after that. I mean, I think I carried it for about a month and a half. It broke twice on me at the range. Long story, but I didn't have a good relationship with my Kimber, and that was the last Kimber I owned. I've always kind of been a sucker for 1911s, just not owned a lot. I've always liked them. But if you're looking, like I said, factory night sights come with it. Nothing's been done to this gun. It's actually how it left the factory at Dan Wesson. I didn't put any parts or anything like that on it. Just left alone other than the spring, and actually I put the 20-pound spring back in it. So it's 100% how it left the factory. So if you're looking for a 1911 for a carry gun, I can't recommend enough Dan Wesson as a carry gun. If you don't want to spend the money on an Ed Brown, because I really wanted an Ed Brown Cobra carry, but to spend $2,800 on a carry gun that's going to be with you all the time, and you're bumping into stuff, I wear an inside the waistband crossbreed. And like I said, when you bump into something, even like the supermarket or something, it's getting bumped on, and you're getting in and out of the car, you're bumping this, bumping that, going in and out of the holster. Carry guns do get some use, get some wear. I spend a lot of range time with my carry gun, so I'm proficient with it. So it's kind of hard to justify, like I said, an Ed Brown at $2,800 when this gun does it for a fraction of that. Like I said, I got a good deal on it used, so I actually really got a real fraction of that cost. So once again, I highly recommend it. If you happen to see one and you're in the market, do yourself a favor and at least pick it up and play with it, in the store. I think if you could feel the fit and finish of this gun, that would be all it'd take in person. If you're kind of on the fence, especially if you're wanting a Wilson or or an Ed Brown. Like I said, those are awesome guns, beautiful guns, but you know, they are spendy. I mean, if you got the coin to drop, hey, more power to you. But you know, if you're looking for kind of a lower end, I guess lower end cost, but to still get 99% of the features you're going to get with those, this is the way to go. So I just want to do a quick video on it, on my Ed Brown, or well, I wish my Ed Brown, my Dan Wesson CBOB. All right, thanks a lot.